G'day guys, today I'm going to be showing off another Midway battle, and it's going to be this time with 2 fighters, 1 torpedo bomber and 2 bombers. So this build is fairly frequent when you're playing Midway. A lot of people choose it, so it's a very strong build for controlling caps, provided they don't have too many AA cruisers. So we're up against Des Moines, which I'll have to look out for. So the upgrade this time I've put on the fighter module, so that's more health and more fighter ammunition. So I'm just making stronger what I already have in this loadout, and I'm hoping to be able to stop his attacks, the enemy CV's attacks, before he does too much damage or blunt their attacks. They always get something through, so we'll see. First off though, usually I go for the cat, so doing a bit of scouting. I see the Tashkent heading into C, so looking for destroyers basically. I don't have much luck dropping on destroyers with the Midway. I mean, you can't trap them like you can, and the bombers very rarely actually hit anything. So I've spotted up a Fletcher. I see the Des Moines on the minimap right next to him, so I don't want to go near him, but trying to pull my fighter. He's already lost one, so I strafed the other fighter successfully. He wasn't aware of that, and so this fighter's battling it out against 2 over here, so I'm just keeping him strafing so as not to get locked in until help arrives. So I got some help. He hasn't quite locked it, so I strafe again. In the end it's very successful, and then I'll just finish him off. I do see the North Carolina or Bismarck gonna get hit, but that's secondary. I just want to get rid of those fighters in the end game. That'll be what's important. There's a Des Moines there as well. That's so much AA that he picked a bad spot. So I chase out his bombers who were heading that way as well to follow up. However, none of his torpedoes really got through due to the strong AA. Now I consider dropping on this Benson, which is going to be a tough drop, as it always is, and he smokes up anyway. So I'm just considering all my teams going towards B and C here, so my carrier's going to be all on his lonesome, even though that's the direction I want to go. The other side's got the full-on AA ships over there with Montana and Mosfa. So with the smoke down, I head in for the turrets. They're usually fairly easy to sink and hit. I thought I'll still drop it, even though I saw that Megami, and I thought, there he goes, he pops his AA. I'm already committed, and I just want to get a little bit of damage out. I still feel like I can flood this guy. I'm not going to be able to stack the docks like I would have liked. I think it was the rune that popped his AA anyway. Still solid hits on the turrets. And this was going to be a cheeky finish off the rune, but unfortunately, nothing. And that's basically what it comes down to when you're running a Midway. You get quite a few of them. I don't usually do the manual drop with bombers, as it's just as sketchy, and you tend to get more fires, I've found, doing the automatic, because it spreads the bombs further over the length of the ship. So I see I want to stop these, but I'm not going to get there in time. I know this, but it's worth a shot. I'll try to get there and just wipe out some planes. So you get a bit of rage at chats this time of day. So I did get there and ended up getting 5 planes, which is not too bad.
The enemy team has taken the
So
lead.
this North Cal is in all sorts of trouble here. I wasn't sure where his fighters were. I should have had them over here. I gonna try stop this, but this is like I said in my other video. You often can get to the planes, but after they're dropped. He did stagger their drop, so I had to make a choice there. In the end, he didn't take... Well, he does, he dies.
The enemy is about to win.
That's just positioning if my fighters were kited over the other side. So it's going to be quite a battle. I haven't played that well to this point. I got a good fighter battle early on. But I felt like I could have picked my targets a little better. That rune becoming a bit of a pain in our team's side. So whether I should have focused him first. He's playing quite well as well. Very aggressive. Helping his destroyers. So you can see on the left of the map, around A, the destroyers are just dominating that side. That's why I've turned my CV away. And we are massively losing here. We've sent our whole fleet to sea. So after getting burnt last time, I decided to commit to it and just got it in before that CV strafed my planes. Now I was going to drop here, but then I saw he's on fire, so I pulled out. Tried to get in before the second fighter came in, but it was a bad angle. Fletcher gets away. But he's putting a lot of pressure on those drops there. I could have used my fighter a little more proactively there. I didn't want to commit. Well, I didn't have my second fighter up yet. So rather than getting my drops through, I wanted to keep one around to defend and spot, of course. So this Fletcher just survives. My team isn't quite focusing him. The Des Moines is doing a good job. Sets him on fire, I think. So our team's still all around C. Haven't really moved out. They're having a strong battle there. We've lost a lot of ships, so we're not doing great. So I'll spot these torpedo bombers. He's going to run off to the North Cal, so I'm not going to get a chance to hunt them down. But, I mean, there's only so many places they go, so I send my fighters up to the Amagi, thinking that'll be his target. Hopefully I can defend from there. I feel like he's going to wrap him around A. Yep, there he is now, heading north. There's Optimus, the rune, having a bit of a chat. There's nothing he could do there. I found that interesting. The Hercules pushed up there. He's still trying to get his bombs through. He does quite well to prod in different areas early on anyway. He could improve his awareness a little bit as he copped a strafe. There's two ways you can fight bombers: to eradicate them or to stop them forever. So I've gone with the stop them forever option, which is letting him get off his bombs. Otherwise you could just chase him down, just click attack and it'll spread it. Spread the bomb. So he's trying to strafe me there unsuccessfully. So I want to sacrifice this number 2 guy. But he did so much, he was okay. So I ended up just finishing off. The Amagi's helping. Now this is one of the new mechanics. For some reason it bugs out. You run out of ammo. Wouldn't let me strafe a little earlier there. So he got all his bombs off, which I was really annoyed about because I was planning to strafe that earlier. It threw me through a loop when he disengaged his fighter. Now I would like to drop on that Fletcher. He's in a bad spot though, and I've been burnt millions of times trying to drop on destroyers with bombers. So I go for the North Cal. Now I'm confident I can finish him, otherwise I would have stacked the dots on this. I came in with a little bit too much angle. And he was aware of me coming, but it didn't matter in the end.
The enemy team has taken the
Teammate
lead.
pushes him off. So we're holding our side over at A. We don't have the cap, but our right side, as you can see around C, has just been annihilated. So we're well and truly down now. Now, seeing that his bombers are still going for this Amagi, so he's all on his own. I'm trying my best. I could have maybe picked up that. I was a bit preoccupied with dropping on the North Carolina. However, we do end up getting him down. Kuryu is now spotted and in a bad spot, and hopefully the Amagi can fire on him. The reload time, though, is very, very difficult to get anything out, because the Midway takes so long to cycle his planes. So I don't want to go too close to the IQ there. His AA is still fairly strong. We'll wipe that plane out. So I see I've got almost no ammo, so this is just trying to keep this Amagi alive as long as I can. So anything that's going in to drop for him, I'm hoping I can delay. So he did delay. Here comes the full bomber and my second fighter squad coming in just in time. So no free drops for him today. Unfortunately, he took one on the bow there. Otherwise, we did fairly well to stop him. And we got rid of all his planes. Now, he already came into that fight with some planes missing, so I'm hoping that's the last of the torpedo bombers. So I go to scouting, back to B. I feel I could drop on this IQ, but I feel like he's dead in the water. I'll leave that for the Donskoy. Use my planes elsewhere for a better effect. So I was about choosing your targets here, and I wanted to get rid of this Benson who was holding everything up. I mean, we're well and truly down. We're going to be 3 down on caps in a minute. I see the Benson, and then I see the Tirpitz unescorted, who's more of a sure bet at the minute. And I'm just trying to claw back some points rather than getting absolutely wiped out. So our Des Moines, very north of the map, might be able to lead him on a merry chase, but otherwise he's not quite as helpful as I could have hoped for. Usually with cruiser players, I want them to push up into the cap, especially when you've got strong AA and protect other players. That's okay. You get that. You got to play around them. So, unfortunately, Tirpitz AA isn't that strong and gets wiped out for him. So, claw back a little bit. Still spotting. Haku's now dead. Got the Benson here. And I feel like we can really win this if we can claw back a cap or two, just so we don't get capped out. Benson is still really irritating, because no one's in a position to shoot him but me. A little bit of chat going on in the bottom corner. It's nice to get complimented, so I appreciate that. So we picked up where we left off. We see a Mosfet on his own, and I'm already thinking that's got to be the next target, even if he's got AA or not. He's such a long ship that even if it scatters, I'll be able to get hits on it. Whether the bombs hit is another matter, but desperate times. I can't guarantee hitting the Benson, especially with the Mosfet and coming in with his AA. So the Des Moines trying to work down the Alabama, which is going to be risky. So this is the play I have to make. So I'm hoping I can get this Mosfet. I'm thinking here maybe he doesn't have his AA up as we come in. I'm just hoping I don't lose all my planes. So he's clearly not AA spec, or he's lost a lot of his AA. And that sort of spread here won't matter, your ship's too long. So we're able to get a fire and hit him again. So I don't know when he was set on fire, but he doesn't repair this. So yeah, if he didn't go down, I might have been in a spot of bother, but we're not getting him.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
He tried to support his destroyer, which he had to do because I was coming here. So again, I see the Donskoy there. I'm going to leave a fighter over the Benson to spot him. Me dropping on the Benson, it's unreliable, as I've said 1,000 times. That's the biggest, I guess, disappointment when playing a CV. When your attack's hit and you got to cycle it through and wait another minute and a half or 2 minutes. So I'm just going for a fire here. I want any old hit. That'll do. 2 fires, perfect. Now watch for him to repair. And I want this Des Moines to shoot HE at him and set him on fire once he repairs. So he just repaired. So here, if I was in chat, like a voice chat, I'd be screaming at him. But he's just doing his own thing. They look like HE rounds to me. The Donskoy finishes us off the Benson, and this is the last ship. And he's got to live for 3 minutes, so it's going to be tight. Thankfully, we were able to just keep getting consistent kills, just keep their cap points down. Crept up to 800, but we're still 300 points down at the minute. And the Alabama just finishes off the Des Moines. So I just keep my fighters to spot. I'm hoping the Donskoy can shoot over that mountain out of range so he doesn't get killed. Just going to keep cycling planes through, hoping to either set him on fire again or... I know he just repaired. So the Donskoy has listened and he's shooting HE at him. Not that he wouldn't probably anyway. And this is, I'm hoping this is going to be the coup de grace, and what do we have? Complete miss. Yeah. Now you know why I didn't hit the Benson. And the rudder turn on this Alabama actually surprised me how good it is. He's done a U-turn here. He was heading straight and he's already changed direction. So the rudder shift time on an Alabama is superb. Plus he's got an excellent torpedo belt. So I was fortunate there to get him flooding, which he again repairs. So now just waiting on my last squad, which should finish him if it hits. Now I contemplate here whether to do a manual drop or not. Problem with manual drops as well is if you're only hitting the one consistent area and it's been already drained of all its HP, like it could be, his superstructure could have been there. But in the end, lucky, only 4,000 damage, so he didn't have much HP left. And we win the game. It was a great fight back, and very fortunate then. And there it is. Donskoy did extremely well. Really carried at the end there. And that Benson, the one that was causing so much dramas in B, did also very well for the enemy team. So we did damage to a lot of ships, a lot of different ships. They're just picking off the enemies that you can. Now, if you're doing it differently, if you're in a Tahoe or Sukoku or Hakuyu, you would have killed that Benson straight up, and it would have been a much, much easier game, just picking off their small ships and then letting your capital ships just stroll through. So thanks for watching, guys.